All right, hello, hello. So we're going to do this video on how woodworkers can use Instagram to gain business, right? To increase exposure, to help you to find customers faster and grow your brand, right? So I'm always talking about how this is the thing that woodworkers need to work on more than actually their furniture, right? Like it's one thing to have good furniture, it's one thing to have some good designs, but it's a whole other thing to get people to see what you have, right? A lot of people think that you can just make some stuff and it's gonna pop off, right? It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna, rocket to success and all these kind of things. And truth is, that's not really how it works, And it's not to say that it can't, but the truth is that there's so much stuff out there, there's so much content out there, and granted, if you're just worried about your little area, your city or whatever, it's that's fine. But what I'm talking about is getting your stuff out to the world, basically. And so you can use Instagram and Meta, for that matter, Facebook, to target specific groups of people, specific zip codes, area codes, all these kind of things. The kind of people that are going to be more qualified to purchase your products, depending on what it is that you sell, right? And so I'm going to talk about this as a woodworker and what we do here in order to get our brand out there and get our furniture out to the masses, right? Because truth is when someone sees your product, they're going to be interested in it, but they're probably not going to buy it right then and there, right? They may ask a question, it's entirely possible, but it takes a lot of touch points in order for someone to finally pull the trigger on a good. And so I'm actually going to start an ad here on Instagram and just kind of walk through the whole process with you, so that you kind of see exactly what it is that you can do as a woodworker to, again, build up your brand. Okay, so I'm going to go to my other page here and start up here up top. So what I have here is I just have tons of posts, right? So I have over 800 posts, and it's because I post every single day. Sometimes I post multiple times a day on multiple platforms, so I'm constantly getting the name, the Resplendent Crow, the Modern Woodrunner, all these kind of things out there. And one of the things that people don't talk about enough is that when you put stuff on Instagram and Facebook, Google indexes it. And not enough people understand exactly how that works, right? It takes quite a bit of time to do that. But say you're making, in my case, I make a lot of faux bamboo furniture. So if I go into my posts here, like I am just constantly putting on posts about faux bamboo furniture, okay? I mean, faux bamboo, okay? Come down here, scroll down a little bit more. Gotta have more faux bamboo on here. I'll tell you guys I'm a faux bamboo guy. I have no faux bamboo on here. Faux bamboo, right? Faux bamboo. Faux bamboo. I'm always posting about faux bamboo because I'm always making it, right? Because I'm kind of the person that makes this. Me and my wife are known for that. More faux bamboo. Anyway, what happens is that over the years, Google tends to pick up the fact that you do a lot of this, right? And they start to index you a little bit higher when someone does a search for faux bamboo. Now you can circumvent that process by paying for advertising, right? You can get close to the top of the search results when you do that, just by paying Google, okay? But if you do a little bit of advertising on Meta, you will realize that that's going to help you on Google, okay? So if I do a search here for faux bamboo furniture, all right, we start here. And again, the Modern Woodrunner does almost no advertising. I spend, I don't know, maybe anywhere from $50 to $100 a month at the most, right? Whereas the Resplendent Crow is going to spend, $5,000 to $10,000. So it's very different, okay? But I'm going to show you what's kind of neat about using social media, okay? So if we scroll down here to the page, right? You're seeing we got all these different, Winston, Chartreuse, blah, blah, blah. But here's the Resplendent Crow, right? Right there. We're kind of on top, which is pretty good. We're not here. These are all the people that are paying, but in the organic side, we're one of the first companies to show up. Go to second. We're right here again. We can go down to the top actual link to the first website, and there's the Resplendent Home. Okay, that's pretty cool. So the Resplendent Home doesn't spend on advertising, but Google has picked up the fact that the Modern Woodrunner, the Resplendent Crow, and the Resplendent Home are all linked together. Okay, and starts at the top of the search results, which is really cool, right? If we go to images, you'll see the Resplendent Home is first in images. You'll just click on here on more images. I'm kind of curious to see what's here. So yeah, no more Resplendent Crow there, but I mean, Amazon's up there, right? Amazon doesn't sell faux bamboo furniture, but they pay a ton of money for advertising. So they're going to show up on, I mean, you could search anything, search peanut butter, Amazon's going to show up. Come down here, there's more Resplendent Crow. If we go to videos, You'll see that we got a modern woodrunner video right here. Again, top search, no advertising on Google at all. Open it up, and we have, there's the first video that shows up in this particular search. And we come down here, and you're going to find there's even more videos, right? Here's the one where I built the credenza. This is just me talking about fixing faux bamboo furniture. You're gonna see all kinds of videos by me because I talk about it so much, and these are pulled from Instagram, okay, which is really important for people to understand. This is an Instagram poll. This Unique by Ruth, they do painted furniture as well. Again, pulled from Instagram. So Google's using Instagram when they index search results. Okay, so there's kind of the proof is in the pudding there. So we'll go back to Instagram here. Okay, so let's see where I want to start here. Okay, one of the cool things about having an Instagram page and utilizing social media for your company as a furniture maker is you get to showcase all your stuff, right? Now, we have multiple ways of making money here, but we also use these different ways of making money as a funnel to draw people in, to increase the amount of touch points that we have to where they will eventually purchase, right? Buying an expensive piece of furniture is not something someone's generally just going to go search and buy right away. They do a lot of research. Okay, so we have this link tree right here. Click on this link tree, and you can see that, top searches or the top links for me are going to be the Resplendent Crow, the Modern Woodrunner's YouTube page, the Modern Woodrunner, and then an Amazon store that I have, right? And the idea is that people are going to click on these things if they want to know more about me or our products or all these kind of things, and it's going to drive them to a place where they can purchase. So sorry, the hiccups. All right, so talk about the ad side, right? So I've got all these different posts, right? And you can actually advertise on any one of these. It doesn't really matter what it is. And you see when I click on this thing, it just says boost reel, okay? And that's basically how you're going to start to do an ad on Instagram. And so if I go here, here's one that I've already boosted. So I'll just show you guys this real quick. Let's boost again. Let's see here. I spent $36 on an ad, right? And that ad ran, I spent 6 days, $6 a day, right? That's all I did, right? It got me 2,700 to 7,000 people saw that ad, okay? And if I come back to my listing here, my page here, we got 81 likes, we got 9 comments. Comments are fantastic. Typically, you know what? So I got 21 here, I got 13 here, 10, 12, 11, 40, 10. So it's kind of all over the place, but it's generally below 100, right? When you go to an ad's going to give you a lot more reach, and it's going to get you a lot more people looking at your stuff, right? And depending on how good your ad is, depends on kind of how much activity you're going to get. So if I take, I don't know, let's take just any old ad here. We'll go with goes when we're talking about hinges here. So I go to this boost reel, and we got some options. Okay, so you have to just kind of decide, like, what is it that you want to do with this ad, right? Who is it going to target? What kind of people are you going to be trying to get this ad to? So you can do a visit profile right here. This is kind of the default option, which basically just means people are going to see your ad, right? They're going to see your product. They're going to think, oh, that's a cool desk, or that's a cool credenza, or wow, it's a neat dresser. And they may come into your website or your site on Instagram, and they may want to check out what else you got, right? What else are you doing? This is kind of interesting, blah, 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 blah. And these people can then subscribe to your page, right? And so that every time you put something out, they're going to get to see it in their feed. And it just allows more people to see your stuff, right? Every time you do more, you make another piece of furniture, you put out a new product, they can see this kind of stuff, right? Which is cool, okay? Now, you can also click on visiting the website, and this is going to be the top thing on your link tree, right? And in this case, the website that it goes to right away is the resplendentcrow.com, which is where we sell our furniture, right? And you might say, well, why not go to the modernwoodrunner.com? And truth is, I don't sell furniture there, right? I sell completely different products, and that website just needs so much work, right? Like, it's where you're going to find drawings, and you're going to find parts, your wood parts. You can find furniture kits and stuff like that. And I'm going to put models and things like that on there at some point, but it's going to go the first thing in that link tree, right? So I want people to go to the resplendentcrow.com if I pick this particular option for my ad, okay? Then the other thing is you can go to message you, right? Which means you want people to interact with you, right? You want them to ask you questions about your products and about your services and all that kind of stuff. And it gives you plenty of options as to what you can do in there, which is pretty cool. I don't actually use that, but other things that you can do, if we scroll down here a little bit, what do you want to see on your ad? This gives you the suggested audience based on Instagram's knowledge of your website, right? Of your Facebook page, Instagram page, the things they see on Google. Instagram is going to index all kinds of things to figure out who's the best fit for your particular ad, okay? The other thing is you can go in manually and you can pick certain kinds of things that you want for this particular ad, right? Like say you're new and Instagram has no idea what you're going to do, right? You can pick, I mean, this is an interesting one, minimum wage, right? So if you're selling a high-end product like we do for high gloss lacquered furniture, like I don't want 20 somethings and 30 somethings to see this stuff, because they don't have the disposable income, right? They're not going to be qualified people to purchase my stuff. And some of you will say, well, yeah, but there's plenty of people that are qualified. Yeah, but the vast majority are not, right? Which if you're paying for advertising, you got to go where the people are at, right? So for me, it would be like 50 and above, maybe 45 and above, right? And then I'm going to want women, right? And these are things you can select some of this stuff. You can click on edit. You can pick by location. If you want to pick a specific region, you can do zip codes. You can do all kinds of stuff. And again, this allows you to target the kind of audience you want for your ad, for your piece of furniture, right? Your cabinets, whatever the hell it is you're doing. So it's really cool. All right. So the last thing you're going to do is you're going to have to pick a budget for your ad. Okay. There's not just some flat fee. You're basically paying for clicks, right? So right here, I can pick, I want to do $5 a day for this particular ad. And it tells me right here that there's going to be 370 to 980 estimated for this particular ad. Okay, it's going to be very different because Instagram is not dumb. They're very smart. Meta knows content very well. Okay, so we can do $5 a day, right? And then the most important thing that you need to do is you need to make sure you set a duration, right? Because it'll run this bitch forever. You'll get a bill at the end of the month for $1,000 because you didn't set an end to your budget. Right? So you want to make sure the default is always run this until I pause it, right? And you'll forget about it and you're going to get a huge bill. So you want to make sure you click on that set duration, set it up for how many days you want it to run, and then it'll automatically stop, which is what you want. Now, here it says if I do this thing for 70 days at a budget of $10 a day, you're going to get 5,200 to 1,400 people potentially seeing this ad, right? They will be potentially interacting. They'll potentially, liking your post, following you, right? Which again, this grows your audience. It's very, very important that people learn that this is a great way to get more eyeballs on your products. Okay, you're wanting to make sure that you focus on your advertising, right? Like it's one thing to make a great product. It's one thing to be a really good speaker, to have a really good production and things like that. But at some point, you're going to have to learn the advertising and the marketing side in order to grow your company, right? If you want to get out of a garage and get into your own building where you're doing these kind of things, it's really important. And even if you do want to stay in your garage, like it doesn't matter. Point is you need to get eyeballs on your product if you're going to grow revenue, because word of mouth in and of itself is good, but it's not as good as it could be. And the amount of money you're going to spend on advertising to grow your products is well worth the money, right? So, and I recommend if you're going to start this thing out, like you should budget $100 a month. Like if you really want to grow and you really want to do this thing with any kind of haste, like you're just going to have to spend that money and learn how this thing works, right? And you're going to have to make that content and just post the heck out of it, So it's a quick down and dirty video. I hope that kind of gives you some good information about what you can do and how to use Instagram and the importance of Instagram. And it's like I said, it's been a great tool for us. We like I said, we spend thousands and thousands of dollars a month from a company standpoint. Like I spend generally below $100 a month myself on growing this thing. And all these eyeballs have again helped us to get larger on Google for index and searches, right? So if you're searching for high gloss lacquered furniture, faux bamboo furniture, Dorothy Draper furniture, Greek key furniture, we're going to show up pretty high because we do so much posting on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, not TikTok, but anyway, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, like I said, reach out. I'm happy to answer them. And like I said, there's all kinds of facets of advertising. This is just literally just one of them.